All right, what's up, guys? So I just got finished up my trading session for the day. I ended up taking one trade on NASDAQ, made over $1,800 today on that one trade. If you guys don't know, I trade live every single morning inside my private group, so I was able to take this trade live. So that being said, let's go and roll the replay from the trade I took this morning.
As long as we hold 571, we should just go straight to 574 or at least 573. Or it looks like it might want to pull back again, which is fine. I'll just be waiting to see if we pull back again. If we hold 571, market's gonna want to go up to, now it's saying 575, so somewhere up here. All right, we are retesting the level again. We need to hold this and we'll have a nice setup to 573. Let's see if we push it back above 571. Looks like we have to close above 22 for it to signal. Alright, looking for a close above 17. Alright, I'm hopping into this. Stop will be on the lows. Around 83. Going for a 73 target. Even 74 is good too. It could be worth it to trim at like 560 here if you're worried about this resistance and VWAP. I wouldn't mind doing like maybe just under 573. I want to trim if we get there. I think if we can get to 572, we will start pushing a little bit more confidently. So that's where we turn positive on everything. I really want like 70 for this first trim. Maybe high 60s. Might be worth trimming early just because we got all this resistance here in VWAP. I should really put this at 58, not 68. I just want to get filled here before this candle closes. Okay. Now that we got the trim, I can go and look for a more extreme target. The delta's peaking at 572. We got gamma to 574 and charm to 574, basically. So, 7350 is not a bad target for this. If you want a more extreme target. It's like 617 way up here. So up to you guys if you want a far-fetched target, but might be worth it. I will end up trailing my stop soon. Are you trailing stop now or just letting run a run? I'm trying not to trail this too tight. I'm not too worried about pullbacks right now. We have a target up here. I want to let it breathe and get to the target. So there's a good chance we're going to get to 573. And we've known that since we entered the trade, so I'm just kind of letting it play out. The only thing that worries me with this, guys, is, I mean, look at this volume. I really don't like this, to be honest. It's just decreasing as we go up. I might look to exit this, to be honest. Yeah, I just don't like the volume, how it's decreasing when we're getting these huge 5-minute candles. That doesn't add up. Still got a good trade. Made around 2,000.
Okay, so let's go and recap this trade today. So if you guys don't know, one of the main strategies I use to trade is I use the Greeks in the options market. And I'm looking at QQQ levels and I'm trading NASDAQ. So I trade futures, I trade the NASDAQ, but I get my levels from the options market using QQQ. If you guys don't know, QQQ is the stock version of NASDAQ, which is the futures version, and they trade the same exact way. Okay, so you can see if I go over to the software I use to read the Greeks every single morning, by the way, if you guys want to check out this software, there will be a link in the description below this video. But anyways, it's basically kind of like reading order flow, but for the options market. If you guys don't know, 80% of volume comes from options, right? So that means, the majority of the reason why markets move is from the options market. So why are you looking at candlesticks on NASDAQ on the chart if most of the movement happens from the options market, right? Therefore, it makes sense to read the levels from the options market, which is what we're able to do with these Greeks, okay? So I'm going to go to the replay mode. Pretty cool feature about this software. I'm going to go to today, right when the market opens. So 9:30 a.m. Okay, we're just going to go 2 minutes past. Okay, so we're at 9:32 a.m. Eastern time, 2 minutes after the market opens. And now we want to mark levels and make a trading plan based on this data. Okay, so what we can see here is when the bars are pointing up, that means we're positive, means we're bullish. When the bars are pointing down, that means we're negative. And market makers are bearish. Okay, so liquidity providers, the big market makers that move the market, they do not want us to go negative. Okay, as you can see, where's the negative start? It starts at 571. So what this means is the market makers are going to try to defend 571. If we break 571, it's basically going to make their job a lot harder. But they're going to have to follow the flow, okay? They're going to have to re-hedge all their positions. So there's a good chance if we break 571, we're going straight down to 568, which is the next peaking bar of interest, okay? So you got to think of it like a ball. If a ball is in here, what happens, right? If we get over 571 and we dip down, right? And now we can kind of use this as a break and retest. So 571 will turn into resistance if we break it. What's going to happen is we're going to go straight down into 568, okay, where the ball is going to have a little resistance. So basically, just from seeing this real quick, we have some levels to work with, and we have some trade ideas. Okay, we can also see the upper targets, which was this 574, 574. We can also look at the charm, which gives us extra confirmation. We see 574. We also see 568, which is that lower target if we break 571. Okay, now I can just go to QQQ and I can mark out my levels based on what we just saw from the Greeks. So that first key level, remember, was 571. We expect market makers to defend this level. They do not want us to go below this level because it's going to make their job harder. If they end up defending this level successfully, right, which is chances are they will, we're going to go straight to the target, right? What's going to happen if we defend 571, we get to 572, we're going to get a lot of bullish pressure because this is right where the market turns positive, okay? Right at 572. If you remember on the live session, I said if we get to 572, we're probably going to rip up, right? And that's exactly what happened. As you can see, we're going to have 572 right here. As soon as we got above 572, look, straight green candles, straight to 573. Okay? But anyways, the main bar we can mark out for our level is, whoops, I don't have my line, was that 574. Everything was pointing to 574, right? Okay, you can see 574, 574. And then from there, what happens if we break 571? Well, like I said, everything's going to point to 568. If we break 571, chances are that's going to act as resistance now. We can look for 568, 568, 568. Okay, so now we draw another level at 568. So now we have two trade ideas, okay, based on what we see here. We can either come down here and look for longs, right? Especially because we're already above it. This will be a pullback area to look for longs. Or if we break this level, okay, if we break this level, we can look for shorts to go down to 568. Okay, so we have a really good trade scenario. No matter what happens, we're going to be able to get a trade and have a nice target, nice risk reward, right? We have a lot of space. This is basically the middle of it. So that's essentially what my levels look like this morning. And then when we actually got the trade, we'll go to NQ. That's what I actually trade. As you can see, this green line was 571. The red line was 570. And if we go over to my OTS indicator, we can view this. As you can see, I got a buy signal right when we close above the level after we're acting like we're going to break it down. And then boom, we got a nice clear shot up near this 573 level. Okay, so I could have rode this up higher. I got a little scared because the volume was decreasing even though we're going up. I don't like when it does that, but we got to trust the Greeks. They never lied to us. They usually always end up going to target. Sometimes it can just take longer than others. Obviously today it worked out right away, right? As you can see, we held above this 571 the entire day because we were positive, right? The market is bullish when we're positive, okay? The market makers want to keep us positive. We're going to go to the targets. If we go negative, they're going to try to defend it. And if they don't, right, and we end up dropping below because there's a lot of volume, a lot of traders putting on trades, we break below this, then we have a plan to go to 568. We have that backup plan in place. By the way, before you guys go, I want to let you know that I post these levels in my trading plans every single day inside my free Discord community before the market opens. So if you guys want my levels and trade ideas I'm looking for, again, I post this for free inside the trading plan in our Discord group. Plus, you also get access to our trading community where we can chat and network with all kinds of other traders in here as well. So anyways, guys, if you want to join the community, like I said, we'd love to have you inside. It's completely free. All you have to do is go over to the first link in the description below this video. You're going to be missing out by not joining us inside of here. With that being said, guys, as always, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you inside our Discord tomorrow morning.